The 93rd phase of the series of media workshops organized by News First to improve the media knowledge of school children was held yesterday at the Mahanama National School in Monragala.
Students at the Mahanama National School in Monragala extended a warm welcome to the News First team. The News First team shared insight on the use of media through practical exercises. Students at the Mahanama National School in Monragala presented a memento to News First following the conclusion of the workshop. The wife of the Speaker of Parliament was also in attendance. This is a productive initiative for students. This institution has shared a wealth of knowledge with the children. I consider this a rare opportunity for the children in my school.
දැනුම් සම්භාරය අප විද්‍යාලයේ සියලුම දරුවන්ට අනගි අවස්ථාවක් කොට සලකන්න මට පුළුවන්.
On to business news tonight, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka releasing a communique stated that relaxation of foreign exchange regulations were implemented with effect from yesterday.
In order to provide greater flexibility for persons operating NRFC or RFC accounts, individuals will now be permitted to open new NRFC or RFC accounts utilizing funds transferred from existing NRFC or RFC accounts maintained with another authorized dealer without obtaining the permission of the controller. Meanwhile, banks will be permitted to extend foreign currency loans to holders of foreign exchange earners accounts. Prior to the relaxation of foreign exchange regulations, foreign currency loans were obtained by a limited category of foreign exchange earners, such as exporters and indirect exporters. Furthermore, non-residents will henceforth be permitted to repatriate both capital and capital gains upon sale of immovable property owned and or developed by the owner through funds remitted into Sri Lanka through international banking channels. The quantum of foreign currency notes that may be issued for travel purposes by an authorized dealer will henceforth be increased from the current level of $2,500 to $5,000. Through the relaxation of foreign exchange regulations, a standard criteria to permit non-bank financial institutions to accept foreign currency deposits have been introduced. As per the new regulations, Sri Lankan dual citizens or Sri Lankan holders of permanent residency permits issued by foreign governments will henceforth be permitted to maintain bank accounts outside Sri Lanka without obtaining prior permission from the Exchange Control Department. The Central Bank says foreign exchange regulations have been reviewed and relaxed with the objective of achieving greater efficiency in the conduct of international financial transactions and further facilitating economic activity of the private sector through greater ease of doing business while enhancing the overall competitiveness of the economy.
Tense situations at several universities. A group storms into the dormitory of the university and assaults students. A clash between two student factions leaves 6 injured. Is it not the responsibility of students to maintain discipline at universities?
9 people, including security forces personnel, have been arrested in connection to the theft of an ancient moonstone or Purusandagala from the Herat Hamillava Rajamaha Vihara in Kavatigol. A high-ranking police officer in the area said that the arrests were made during investigations.
The high-ranking police officer noted that the Purusandagala or moonstone had been broken into pieces when it was discovered. The police said that the parts of the Purusandagala or the moonstone had been hidden inside a well located at the house of one of the suspects. The Purusandagala at the foot of the steps leading to the Chaitya of the Herat Halmillava Rajamaha Vihara, which was constructed during the reign of King Sri Vikramarajasinghe, was stolen on the 3rd of this month. A concrete enclosure had been built to protect the ancient Purusandapahana from treasure thieves due to its archaeological value, but the thieves had broken its concrete enclosure and made off with the artifact. The chief incumbent of the Vihara said that the 2 civil defence force personnel detailed for the protection of the Vihara had been bound up in the Dhamma hall of the Vihara. The group of thieves had identified themselves to the chief incumbent as a group travelling from the Valioya army camp to the Kalanikavava army camp in Kavatigol.
On to sports news. The Group A encounter of the ICC Champions Trophy between Sri Lanka and host England is currently underway at the Kennington Oval in London.
Invited to bat first, English skipper Alastair Cook and Ian Bell put on a 48-run opening stand.
Point and the ball will run across.
Bell was dismissed for 20 runs by Shamin Deiranga.
To mid-wicket.
Jonathan Trott then joined the skipper and guided England past the 100-run mark. Alastair Cook, who reached his half-century, was undone by Rangana Herath for 59. Jonathan Trott and Joe Root then put on an impressive 87-run stand before Rangana Herath struck again to dismiss Trott for 76. Joe Root reached his half-century in 43 balls.
Oh, that's close. Oh, God. And looked out. Jonathan Trott.
Batting first, England posted 293 runs for the loss of 7 wickets in their allotted 50 overs.
On rugby news, with the decision taken by Sri Lankan rugby referees to boycott the Inter-School Under-20 Division A Rugby League, the Sri Lanka Schools Rugby Football Association decided to postpone the league indefinitely. News first delved deep into the matter.
It was reported that the referees officiating a match between St. Joseph's College Colombo and Dharmaraj College Kandy on the 1st of this month were attacked by fans. Therefore, the Sri Lanka Rugby Referees Society decided not to officiate matches involving St. Joseph's College Colombo, Dharmaraj College Kandy and Isipatana College Colombo. President of the Sri Lanka Rugby Referees Society, Orville Fernando, said that they refrained from officiating in the matches as attacks and threats harmed the respect of referees. According to the results of the concluded matches, Dharmaraj College Kandy, who are unbeaten, dominate the points table.
Rugby ක්‍රීඩාවේ හදවත කියන්නේත් මම හිතනවා මේ මහනුවර තමයි.
Kandy is the heart of rugby. Several problems may arise in this sport. Principals and teachers should discuss and resolve these problems. This is not the first time this has happened. If tournaments are being suspended and if referees act in an ad hoc manner in our country, like Sri Lanka where sports are still developing, I think it is a disappointing situation.
දියුණු වෙමින් පවතින ක්‍රීඩාව දියුණු වෙමින් පවතින රටකට ඒක කනගාටුදායක තත්ත්වයක්.
This rugby game has been a very good game and there was so much of fighting spirit. I can remember 15-20 years ago when I was the POG, certainly there was a high standard. I feel that trend has gone because now anyhow the trend that by hook or crook we must win, that trend has come into all the games. Schools, rugby union must have a strong rules and regulations for every school. Everyone can follow.
Although the Sri Lanka Rugby Referees Society said that they will refrain from officiating in selected matches, no matches were held over the past 14 days. Referees can complain about the fans, but taking a serious decision on a school competition based on that is not appropriate. The referees were given adequate protection. The police were also present. Out of 400 matches played in this tournament, such incidents took place only in 2 matches. All parties agreed to hold matches in neutral venues. Also, we have taken measures to hold matches this Saturday.
The funeral of eminent international cricket umpire K.T. Francis was held in Colombo today. K.T. Francis officiated the first test match between Sri Lanka and England in 1982 and was a member of the ICC panel of umpires. Francis officiated in 25 test matches and 56 one-day internationals during an international umpiring career spanning 17 years, while his last match as umpire was in 1999 when Sri Lanka took on Australia in Colombo. He was 73 years old at the time of his demise.
Well, with that, we wrap up the news bulletin today. I'm Krishi Panitharatna.
For the News First team, I'm Rameshwar Bandara. Good night.